Okay, this is where everything starts getting a little fun. This is where we have to solve for things like, is the ball bouncy? I would say no, the ball is not bouncy at all. If it's a cannonball, it would not be bouncy. Okay, what's the mass of the ball? Well, I say the mass is not 1, maybe it's 20. And this thing, I'm going to say it's a mass of 50. It's a big, huge thing. Is it bouncy? No, wood is not bouncy. How about the friction? The friction actually states, is the ball going to stay in the basket and be, it's kind of like adding sandpaper to the outside edge of it. So the dynamic friction I'm going to put to like 0.5 on this. And so is the static. Okay, so don't change too many things all at once. Let's first see if it fires off. Okay, that's better. Now it's actually firing off into the sunset. Okay, now that we've fixed that, let's take a look at the ball or the trigger itself. And now we can move this. Okay, edit, cut it, and let's edit, paste it back here. Okay, we got the weight of the ball just fine. This would actually be a nice if it was a passive, the ground, so that way it bounces off. Okay, let's see if it actually fires off. And you can see this is a little game where, you gotta start working at it. Ooh, better, better, better. Boom. Okay, now that we got that, we'll have to just tweak it a little bit so it moves forward and then throws the catapult. Okay, so if it launches at 170, what we want to do is have it solve. So solving until maybe 60 would be nice. So what I'll do here is translate it Z, key selected. And then at 140, it moves forward some. And then key selected. Only key the channels that you're using. Do not key a bunch of extra channels in there. Okay, good. Good, it's moving forward. Bam. Ooh, just shy of the target. Okay, so now you could probably cheat if you wanted to. And you notice if I move the scene around a little bit, it's going to do some wacky stuff. Also, I notice these are floating in midair. Okay, so make sure that these are actually hooked up to some dynamic principles. If the gravity field didn't get hooked to these, what I want to do is create them into active rigid bodies. And it looks like that was the case. It looks like none of them were active rigid bodies. Okay, give it a little bit more frames. And it's catapulting out. Boom. Okay, good. Great. We have contact. That means everything is working quite well. The one thing I didn't like about the scenario is these and the fact that they weigh absolutely nothing. So here, I'm sure if you're hitting a rock, that the rock actually has some mass to it. So I'm going to put some 0 on that. The mass is going to be like 50. The ball is 20, so a cannonball compared to the actual stone it's hitting. And what I want to do is start setting up an interesting camera for this now that we have everything working. These are annoying, so I'm going to click on these and hide them. You probably don't have those in your scene. So now, how do we hook a camera so the camera actually follows the ball and then when it hits the surface I can actually see it at this end. So a dynamic camera attached to the ball.